Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author Andrew Snorton, and you're joining me for the Fast 15. As we normally do, we take about 15 minutes to kind of pause, check up, check in, enjoy an encouraging note or update from any of the books, audiobooks, things along those lines, a couple of announcements regarding upcoming events, and then just closing out with some positive words. As you guys know, when life is lifing, sometimes you can't wait till the end of the day or the beginning of the next day for an opportunity to pause, reboot, and that's myself included. So hopefully this time really does allow you just to kind of pause and breathe and just get renewed or things along those lines. So before we get into our topic for the day, of course, you can stay connected with me, AuthorASnorton, on Instagram, and you can click on the link in the bio for the newsletter, social media, website updates, info on the Author Andrew Snorton blend in collaboration with Fonte's Coffee, and some other cool things. So make sure to check those out. But before we get into our topic for the day, we know again that there's people out there that are going through some things. So if you or someone you know is going through, a health related challenge, finances, just dealing with people, or just general stress, things along those lines, we want to send a word of encouragement out and just let you know you're not alone. While your hurdle is your hurdle to clear, you're not the only person trying to clear hurdles. So just sometimes being thought of and prayed for and kept in mind can definitely be encouragement to some. So if you or someone you know is in need of that type of encouragement, please provide that to them. And then once you kind of pause and slow down your moving parts, identify what your next steps can be just to help you get back on your feet, or back in stride again, or things along those lines. On the flip side, there are people who are doing well, new jobs, new places to live, new positive experiences, new growth experiences, or you're coming out of something. So if you or someone is along those lines, we definitely want to give you a shout, give you acknowledgement. Keep building, keep growing, learn from what's happened before, so you can be prepared for what's on the line. So those are just some general notes that I always try to share, and it's not just for you, it's for me as well. So today is a significant day. Any day is a significant day, but this day 8 years ago, February 12th, 2017 is when I released my first book, and we did the book signing and authors talk at the Starbucks on Howell Mill in Atlanta. So if you've ever been to that location, it's the neat lower level. Then you gotta walk up the spiral staircase to get to the upper level, but it's actually pretty cool. Maybe they've installed some things in there for greater access, but it was a cool spot, cool vibe. Many thanks to everybody back on day one. So here it is 8 years later, and I think it's only fitting that I pull a selection from the very first book, Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Justice Norton. So if you haven't gotten a copy of that, especially you poetry lovers, go ahead and get a copy today. And this is a book of poetry based on conversation with family members one in particular who I didn't know existed, but it's a poetic retelling of our conversation, looking at the energy of love. So the first half is looking at it through his eyes, second half through my eyes, and it's a great way to kind of look at it, preview, and then diving into the poem. So the chapter I'm going to read from, I think, is very timely. Chapter 19, as we get a little spiritual here, God's Walk, Talk, and Redemption. And I think it is just timely just for so many reasons, whether things that, I've been through or going through, things that others are going through, because sometimes you just wonder why me, different things. So I'm going to read this excerpt from the poem from this very first book. So again, topic from the day is coming from Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton, debuted 8 years ago. And here's a portion of the poem from chapter 19. I understand your pain and sorrow. You do the best you can since you know you are not promised tomorrow. Sometimes it's about learning a lesson about where you have grown and where you still have to grow. What you have learned, yet things you still have to know. But through it all, as hard as it is to see, it's about having a closer walk with me. So I think about those lines and I think about different things that I've gone through and, may end up going through, and it's challenging, it's tough, it really can kind of mess with you on so many levels. But then you have to pause and remember there's a lesson in all of that. It's a checkpoint of how far you've come, how far you need to go, things along those lines. And just like I say in the beginning, no one wants to deal with adversity or life challenges. No, nobody wants to. But sometimes it's going to happen, and it's going to test your faith. It's going to test your mindset, your self-image, things along those lines. And it's one of those where you take a moment to roll with the punches. And once you get that clarity at that certain point, now it's like, I see it. And now it's an opportunity for you to grow from it, be a better person across the board. We're always learning, we're always growing. And sometimes it's those things that break us down or tear us apart. They're the things that are going to build us up the most. So this is just a lesson from the book Deeper Than Your Deepest Sleep, Thoughts on Love with Joseph Snorton. Make sure to check it out today, not only online, but at your independent bookstores. So definitely thanks for allowing me to share that. Okay, a couple of quick things before we wind down. Many thanks to Gottwall's Books in Warner Robins, Georgia. Had a great experience there this past Saturday for my book signing. Many thanks to all who took time to lend support, and make sure to definitely check them out. The next appearance that I'll have will be February 22nd in Highland Park, Michigan, one of the suburbs of Detroit. That'll be for Detroit Book City's 9th annual African American Family Book Expo. So I'll be one of the authors doing a couple readings, things along those lines. So if you are in the greater Detroit area, make sure to check that out. Many thanks, of course, to Fonte's Coffee with our collaborative project, the Author Andrew Snorton Blend. So make sure under the Author Andrew Snorton Blend, get your bag of really good coffee, the decaf, the light, the medium, or the bourbon infused. You can go online, fontescoffee.com, click on special collections, and you'll find mine there. Shouts to Status Network, working on a couple of items with them, so stay tuned during the spring as we'll be up and running with the Conversation Corner. And just in general, many thanks to everybody for liking, sharing, reposting, supporting, all that type of stuff. It means a lot. Every bookstore, book festival, book club, it means a lot. And to say that today marks 8 years, definitely been able to connect with some great people across the board. So many, many thanks. For those of you that are in the state of Georgia, definitely Metro Atlanta and areas, I guess, north, east, and west, please be careful as there is a flood watch, flood warning, flood advisory. So please be careful. You know how there's usually some type of standing water issue, especially in Metro Atlanta. So please be careful if you're on the roads today. And that's just in general. All of you, please be safe in your travels. Get to where you need to go safely and soundly and in one piece, and things of that nature. But those are some of the main things that are happening. Appreciate everybody taking time to pause, check up, check in. Enjoy an encouraging note from any of the books or audio books. We will be back at this next Wednesday. So until then, I pray and trust that all of you take very good care. Be safe while you're out and about. Just be aware, be mindful, continue to grow, have that balance of confidence and humility. As sometimes we get a reminder that we definitely need to. And until next time, whether it's small or big, a victory is a victory, whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious, keep it moving. Again, all of you take very good care, and I'll check you out soon.